Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Story and Things, a podcast that reviews stories.
And talks about things that sometimes relate to the stories, but not really.
Just sometimes. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm still a little sick.
It's okay. You sound a lot better today.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh my gosh.
It's all the tea. Thank you for that.
Wow. Talking about tea.
A good transition.
So I wanted to talk about something that we saw on Book Talk together.
Okay.
And apparently people are getting angry on Book Talk when authors follow reviewer accounts that review their stories.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like, do you not want the authors to know what people are saying?
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of, if anyone watches anime, there's this famous manga artist. He made Dragon Ball Z. Not the greatest man, but he made it, and he was going to he made Dragon Ball. And then he said he was going to make Dragon Ball Z, but he didn't want Goku to be the main character. He wanted Gohan to be the main character. And he heard all of the fans say, like, you can't get rid of Goku. It's Goku.
That's my guy.
So then he just kept bringing back Goku for every rendition of Dragon Ball. He was like, oh, he died? Oh, no, he didn't. He's not dead. He can live forever. Oh, he's old now? Well, no, now I turned him back young. He's never going to die. And he did that with everything because he was following what the fans were saying. So do you think that's why people are angry? Is it because they don't want authors to be swayed a certain way?
I assumed it was more about the reviewer. Like, if an author was following us, do you think that we wouldn't talk badly about their book?
That's a hard one.
Like, for example, let's say Julia Quinn was following us. Do you think you would start saying that you love The Duke and I?
Oh, that's hard because then it becomes personal.
I mean, honestly, if we had a problem with it, we could always just block her. But it wouldn't be like because we don't like her. It's more because we just don't want to be influenced by it.
But here's the thing. We don't talk shit or hate. We're just critical.
Yeah.
But it still feels weird because even after we went to Y'all West, it's like weird because they're just normal people. Like we crashed into Chloe Gong so much.
Yeah, we saw her everywhere.
Yeah. So it's like it kind of breaks that wall, I guess, that should be there.
Right.
But then it's weird because there's like indie authors too who are hella like responsive online and they communicate with the community. But like,
doesn't mean that we need to, it doesn't mean that we need to lie about their work though.
No, of course not.
If we don't like it, we don't like it.
Do you think as an author you would follow reviewers that talked about your book?
I feel like I would. Just because I never really saw a problem with it. But then again, kind of tying into the same thing, I see people having issues with authors like looking at their reviews. Or either that or making reviews on other people's stories.
Like authors writing the reviews.
Right. Not on their own stories, but just like on other people's books. And it's like, okay, but they're also readers. So that's a little mean.
That is a little mean.
To assume that just because now you have this book, now you can't say anything else about any other story.
Because then people are going to think you're comparing it.
Yeah.
But you're also just a reader.
You're just a consumer.
It's hard. It's hard, but I think you should be allowed to follow whoever you want to.
Yeah.
I don't think... It's hard, too, because as an author, you hear a lot of things. And I don't know how it feels. I've never written a book. But I feel like if you hear something and you're like, oh my God, they guessed my ending. I feel like that might feel a certain way, you know?
Yeah, like, am I predictable? It might cause some people to change it.
How would you feel about that if an author was like, oh, by the way, I had a different ending, but you guys ruined it, so I'm going to change it?
Well, now it's even more ruined, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what are we here to talk about today?
Today, we're here to talk about First Kill, which you and I have never talked about a story from V.E. Schwab before. But this is my second story from this author.
It's my first.
It's your first. Right. And it's a short story. So the story is actually a part of a collection of short stories. And the book was titled Vampires Never Grow Old.
Yeah.
But this is only about V.E. Schwab's story. And it was adapted into a Netflix series.
Which is crazy because it was a Netflix series that was, I think, 8 9 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and the short story is like 20 pages.
Yeah,
So-
the short story is honestly just an intro.
Yep.
It was what, the first episode,
It was
possibly?
the first 4 episodes. I mean, who's counting? That's weird.
Yeah, but there wasn't that much detail anyway in the short
No.
story, so it doesn't even, I don't even think it translates.
Yeah,
It would have
didn't.
just been one episode.
Do you know, before we even get into this story, do you know if V.E. Schwab had a lot of say in this series?
I think she did. I'm pretty sure she did.
Okay.
Because I saw they were, you know what? I don't want to assume, but I think she did.
She did? Okay. If you did V.E. Schwab, wow. I didn't know. That's pretty cool that authors now can be like
a part of their story, like they should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm hearing it more and more now because before I didn't really pay attention to
No, because
brought the
before
authors.
it was very like, yeah, well, the movie is very different from the book because
Mhm.
they would just buy the rights to it from the author and then not even include them.
Yeah, okay. Because I've seen a lot of pictures of like Alice Oseman with the cast of like Heartstopper. I haven't seen V.E. Schwab, but I hope she's out there. And then Lee Bardugo got a lot of say, and I don't know if Julia Quinn got a lot of say in Duke and I.
I have no idea, but I think so.
Yeah.
It was very true to the original.
So it's just nice to see.
Mm.
But we are going to talk about this. I know it's really short, but I do recommend you go read V.E. Schwab's short story and hopefully also watch the Netflix series because we are going to talk about it. But why don't you give a spoiler-free summary in order just to prepare people what we're going to talk about? Because even though it's really short, it's really dense.
Well, the show is. There's
Yeah.
a lot to it now. So, First Kill is about Juliet, who is a teenage vampire that won't come into a complete transition until she commits her first kill, or else she could potentially turn a little violent because she is a vampire. In this story, there's also a monster hunter named Calliope, and she also has to commit her first kill in order to prove herself to her hunter family. And when the duo is trapped in a closet at a party, instead of killing each other, they just start making out.
Queens.
If you're into sapphic, teenage, high school,
Vampire,
hunter, forbidden romance, then I would definitely recommend this.
We don't tell each other how we feel about these things. And I feel like this time around, we did a really good job not telling each other anything.
Ever.
Did I make any first kill posts?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I was wondering. I didn't remember.
Uh-huh.
But let me guess how you feel about this.
Okay.
Which I'm still not sure. I think you being a Shakespeare head,
The Shakespeare head.
You love Romeo and Juliet.
I do.
So much. And there's a lot of Romeo and Juliet, like,
sprinkles?
yeah,
Okay.
into this show more than the book.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think you liked this only because High School Romance, I know you're not a fan of it. And this was a very sexual show. It was very sexually driven. It kind of freaked me out.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't think you liked the characters. I think they could have been a lot more, but you'd probably just like,
You don't think I liked any of the characters?
No, maybe Theo, but that's kind of it.
That's your only guess?
Yes, that's well, yeah, only Theo.
Okay.
No one else. Maybe the dad.
Who's dad? There's two dads.
Both dads. I think you liked both dads and Theo only. And out of both girls, you're probably like more leaning towards Calliope. But I think overall you did not enjoy this. You probably enjoyed the short story. And you're going to give this, being generous, like a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Who are you apologizing to?
Myself.
Okay.
I'm really bad at this.
It's okay.
Okay.
So I don't really know how you feel about this story. You didn't make any posts about it. So that was my first guess. I was like, okay, so she didn't talk about first kills. So maybe she's not vibing with it. I'm not even going to give a reason. I'm going to say...
You have to give a reason.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, go.
I just don't think that you really vibed with this story. And I was going to say a 1.
Damn, okay.
But now I'm going to guess a 1.5.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
It would
I
have been
just-
a 1, but those two dads together both put 0.25 onto the rating.
Right. No, I don't see you giving anything that low of a rating.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I think you would have given it a 1, but I think some of the characters you like held on to. Like Theo.
Okay.
Why don't we just talk about our two main characters and a little bit about their family?
Okay.
I think that's easier. Who do you want to start off with?
Let's start with the main one. Let's start with Juliet.
Juliet. Yeah.
Exactly. So Juliet is a vampire and she takes these like blood pills to kind of suppress her urges because she really needs to commit her first kill.
Yep.
She needs to consume her first person and drain them completely so they will be dead in order for her to suppress the urges and, you know, I guess come into a complete transition of who she will be as a vampire. And Juliet has always really had a thing for Calliope.
Yep.
She seems to have always had a crush on her. I don't know if they really specifically said when it started, but she's always like kind of just like noticing where she's at, always looking at her. And so when they end up in the closet together, she's just completely like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Finally. And she's very forward too. Like she immediately kisses her. That pretty much is our character. I mean, she's a teenager. She has a best friend. It's Ben.
It's Ben.
It's Ben.
Do you like her as a main character?
She was okay.
Why isn't she great?
Well, I have a very specific reason why I don't like her.
Oh, so you don't like her?
Not really. I mean, I liked her in the beginning, but then after like certain things happened near the end, I didn't like her anymore.
I think I would agree with you. I did like her towards the beginning because I liked that she was different from her family, because even though she has to commit this first kill, the big thing is that she doesn't want to. It's more so in the Netflix series about how against she is, like the way of the vampire and like having to do this in like a very like antiquated way. She's just like hella against it.
Yeah.
So I love that about her. But you're right. There are certain things that she does in this show that just kind of like, oh.
It just like ruined the character for me. I was like, I don't understand her motivations. And I just felt like it felt very different from how she was perceived in the beginning, where it was more so like innocent, wouldn't hurt a fly, even though she's a vampire.
Can I say though, I loved Juliet in the short story.
Yeah, I liked her too.
I liked her a lot. Like out of both of them, I thought she was the best one in the short story.
Yeah.
But in the show, I'm not a fan of her. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah. What about Calliope?
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and describe Calliope?
So Calliope comes from this family of hunters that has been hunting monsters for generations.
Yeah.
And she is trained into this. She sees monsters as monsters. That we even have like a part where she's going like monster hunting with her brothers. And she just really wants to be into this, but because of a mistake that she made when she was younger, which is something that the show added, wasn't in the short story. Because of this, they don't really trust her to be on the field yet. But she also wants to get her first kill, which is first kill of a monster. And so when she sees Juliet and she starts noticing little things about her, she kind of pieces it together like, damn, this is a vampire.
Yeah.
But is also in the same situation where even though she's a vampire, she seems very human, and Calliope is also starting to get feelings for her. But overall, Calliope's character was hesitant with doing things the way she wants to because she really craves her family's approval.
Yeah.
More so than Juliet does.
I don't think Juliet craves her family's approval at all.
I don't know, from a family of vampires, you would think she would.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really give a fuck.
Yeah, it didn't seem like she was that close to them either. Unlike Calliope.
Yeah.
Like, Calliope was really close to her family, and she really valued how they perceived her. And she really wanted to be one with the team.
She really did.
And also, like, when you commit your first kill, like, you get, like, a little arrow tattoo on your forearm, and she's like, that's gonna be me.
She would even draw it.
With eyeliner.
Oh, my gosh. So I think out of both of the characters in the short story, she didn't stand out much to me. But in the show, I think I liked her more only because she's going through so much, having to deal with, I love Juliet, but she's a vampire and I shouldn't love her.
Because my family will never accept her, and she will always be seen as a monster.
Yep. And I love my family, but they don't understand what she's done for me.
And it's also through Juliet that she realizes, like, wait, maybe all monsters aren't like I thought they were originally. Yeah. But I agree with you. I don't know if I had a favorite in the short story. It was really short.
It was really short.
But I did really like both characters in the short story. In the Netflix show, I did prefer Calliope. I just felt like her motivations and her actions just made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
And I just really liked how she also like ended up treating Juliet with time.
Yeah. Why don't we talk a little bit about
their families?
Which we can start off with talking about Juliet's family, which is her mom, her dad, and Eleanor, which is her older sister, but also Oliver, which is the twin brother to Eleanor, but doesn't live.
Yeah, he's kind of like pushed away from the family. Eleanor is very sure of herself. She's one of those characters who is like, I'm pretty and I know it.
I love that.
I know. And she has this power where she can just like compel people.
Yeah.
And it's useful to her, but her dad or their dad is always like, you better be careful.
Because it is rare.
It is rare. Mm-hmm.
She's a very confident character in what she does, which you don't really see that much in the parents.
Yeah.
So she's very like power driven. She wants everything to do with this vampire life.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, her dad, if I get this right, he was a human, right?
He was a human, yeah.
Who was turned because he was sick?
I don't remember if he was sick, but he was, no, he wasn't a human. Wait, he was a human this whole time?
I thought he was a human.
Juliet's mom's grandma called him a halfling. And I thought she called him a halfling because he was turned into a vampire. Because that family, they're like the legacies, and because you're born a vampire. Because they have this like special blood or something. I don't know.
You're right. I think that was the situation.
So they would call the dad a halfling because he wasn't, he wasn't a legacy.
And he didn't have that coldness to him because he actually was very compassionate.
Yeah, he was a very
caring.
compassionate character, and they really saw that compassion in Juliet.
But not in Eleanor, who is just wants power. And the mom, who is a full legacy vampire, she just cares for her kids.
Yeah.
And it really sucks because she was shunned out of her own family for marrying the husband.
She cares for her kids, but not that deeply.
She did want things to go
her way. And the legacy line also has kind of like, I don't remember what the word they used, but if you've ever seen American Horror Story?
Yes.
The Supreme. Like, it's like with the high person on the top. So the grandma is the supreme person in their bloodline. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so when the grandma dies, it will be passed down onto the mom, and then hopefully passed down to Eleanor, because Eleanor really wants that title.
Yes.
And Juliet doesn't care for it.
Yes.
She honestly just wants the tradition to be eradicated.
How did you feel about Juliet's family?
Even though I preferred Calliope, I thought Juliet's family was more interesting to me. Like, I was more interested in the whole, like, legacy thing. And even when the grandma came in and they brought in all these other people, I was like, okay, this is very interesting. Yeah. I really liked Juliet's dad.
Me too.
I thought he was a really, like, sweet character. And then even, like, his transition later on, I was, like, so scared for him. I was so worried. I didn't really care for the mom, though. I think at first I didn't really like her, but then with time I was like, okay, well, she's all right, I guess.
Okay.
But I did think Eleanor was probably the most interesting character. Just because I was like, she's going to mess something up. I know she is.
But she's going to mess it up so that it benefits her.
Exactly.
Which I love that.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with you that they were very interesting. They weren't my favorite family. But I did really like the dad. Yeah. And I hated Eleanor. But only because I feel like she's gonna, well, she does. She harms characters that I really like. And it sucks because she's doing it for her benefit, but she's also doing it because she cares about her family.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like that there's a situation where she gets put in where she has to make a choice of either I'm going to follow through with what grandma wanted or do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And when she realizes that she doesn't want to follow through, she goes to her dad.
Yeah.
And I think that's really sweet.
Yeah. I actually really liked her character, mostly because I liked that part where she was willing to get married.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
that
talking
the
about.
grandma will save her dad, because her dad ended up nearly dying. And so I really liked that she was willing to do anything. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, Juliet would never. She'd be like,
she wouldn't.
She didn't even know that her dad almost died.
No, you're
which
right.
Which was so annoying to me.
Wait, can we talk about that really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a situation where they get attacked by the hunters, which is Calliope's family. Mm-hmm. And everyone is close to death, but they regenerate quickly. Mm-hmm. So it's like they'll be fine. Mm-hmm. But
the dad's a halfling, remember.
So he doesn't regenerate as quickly as the others. So he is going to die. Mm-hmm. But then Eleanor is like, okay, Grandma, if I marry that family that you wanted Mom to marry,
mm-hmm. but decided not to, and instead married my dad,
would you save my dad? And she's like, oh yeah, sure, for sure. But you have to promise that you'll do that. And, the dad goes through this painful transition. But when Eleanor decides, you know what, fuck this, I don't want to do it, the grandma's like, how fucking dare you? You go back out there and marry that man.
Well, her line, she was willing to do anything, but then the family brought up, yeah, you're going to have like 10 kids. We're going to keep going until you have a daughter. And then she was like, what if I don't have a daughter? Well, you're going to keep having kids until you have a daughter. That was her line. She was like, hell no, I'm not doing this.
Yep.
I'm not just going to go to Europe to be a baby maker.
But you know what? Grandma wasn't happy with that. 'Cause she's like, you need to complete this. Yeah. So what did Eleanor's dad do?
So it goes back to Adam and Eve. Shout out. So there is a serpent who goes into the vampire and it just like transitions them. Yeah. So the serpent was put into the dad, and I think the serpent is still in there. I'm not 100% sure.
No, I think it came out.
It did?
Yeah, but he was dealing with the aftermath of it.
Okay, cool. Because then his eyes started turning green, and I was like, okay.
That's just part of him now.
I don't know what's happening. But so the dad, Eleanor, and then the grandma, they're in the dad's bedroom, I believe. And the grandma's like, you have to go in there, or you have to go back there and marry that man because you promised and whatever. And the dad was just like trying to protect Eleanor, and he ended up eating her.
Yeah, he unhinged his jaw.
He literally
and didn't even move. He just like stayed like that.
And his mouth was just wide open, and she just like slipped in.
Damn, Dad. Oh my God. She stood there the whole time.
She was just like, damn, Dad, you were hungry?
What? Grandma?
We had bread downstairs.
I know, I could have brought you some. But that was crazy.
That was crazy. A lot of the CGI in the show was kind of funny. Yeah, but I know they had a low budget, which is fine, but
it was funny. But oh my God, that part kind of freaked me out because he ate his whole ass grandma with clothes and all. By the way,
yeah, he just swallowed her whole.
It was funny because like, I think the mom comes in later. Is like, "Where's grandma?" And it's like, honey,
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but
honey, I ate your mom.
Whoa. Sorry. That's cute.
The third to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Thank you. Honey, I Ate Your Mom.
Which is kind of worse. I don't know.
Sorry. But I think they were an interesting family. Mm-hmm. But they were not my favorite family.
Okay, you already said that.
Because Calliope's family, I'm down for.
Okay.
They are, like we said, a bunch of hunters who have been hunting for generations. Mm-hmm. And her family consists of her older brother, Theo, who has a different mom, but they kind of took him in because his mom was killed when he was younger.
By a vampire.
And then we have her second older brother, who is Apollo, who is just very arrogant, cocky.
Mm-hmm. He's so cocky.
Very middle child vibes.
Okay, first of all, what does that mean?
Well, why are you getting offended?
What does that mean? Cocky.
He's just very...
The middle child is not known to be cocky.
He's very... No, that's not what I meant. Very middle child vibes because he really is in the middle of everything. Like, it's always either about Calliope or about Theo. Never really about Apollo.
Oh, you mean just the fact that he's ignored?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. And then we have the dad who is very, like... us hunters stick together. We do what we have to do.
No matter what.
No matter what. And I love my family. Love them to death. My human family.
Uh-huh.
And then there's
keep going.
the mom who loves her family so much. Mm-hmm. And she's basically doing all the raising because I don't even know where the dad was at the beginning.
I think they were on like a hunt.
Okay.
You ever seen Supernatural?
No. I've seen the first 4 episodes.
Okay, anyway.
But they are a family of hunters. And I feel like when this whole Calliope Juliet thing happens, they really care for Calliope and they don't want anything to happen to her. And they're like, you don't understand. Like when she bit you, she released this venom in you and it's making you attached to her. Like we just want to protect you.
And you think you're in love with her, but it's just the venom. She's manipulating you.
Yeah, but they really do care for her because they still view monsters as monsters. They haven't had the situation or they haven't had, oh my God. They haven't had the experience with monsters that Calliope has had with Juliet. Mm-hmm. So I kind of understand where they're coming from. Oh, man. But it becomes very tough on their family because there is a situation happening later where Theo, the older brother, he's close to death. And because of a character, he ends up becoming a vampire. Uh-huh. And all of a sudden, Dad, who was all about family, is like, that's not my son. You see him talking to me like a normal person?
Well,
that's not my son.
I kind of get it. I mean, he sees him as he's dead now.
Yeah, but it's
almost like if he was a zombie.
Oh my God. It hurt so much. Because I was like, oh yes, this family's together forever. Damn.
But they're not.
They're not. I think I did like this family though, because I really liked Theo and Apollo, the brothers. I thought they were amazing.
Oh.
And I don't know if you feel the same way, but it feels that no matter where this story is being taken next, they're going to be the more accepting family to Juliet than the other way around first. They feel more accepting than Juliet's family, to me, personally. At least T does.
But the dad, though.
Yeah, and then look at the other family. Eleanor's not going to be accepting, but the dad is in that one.
Is not here right now.
Not Eleanor, I mean the mom.
I don't think Oliver also kind of counts.
Oh, I forgot about Oliver.
Okay,
oh my God.
Rude.
I liked Calliope's family. How did you feel?
I didn't mind her family. I really liked her parents. Mm-hmm. I did really like the mom. I thought the mom was amazing. I loved her character so much.
Yes.
The dad was... it's not that I didn't like him. It was just that he was very dad-like, A lot of his,
That's his worst quality.
I know. No, I'm just kidding. No. It's just that a lot of things that he would say, I was like, okay, that's such a dad thing to say. Overall, I did like the family. I wasn't that attached to her brothers, though. I think out of the two, I preferred Apollo. Yeah, so you guessed me wrong. Really? Theo was not my favorite.
Okay, out of all the characters, who was your all-time favorite character? All of the characters put together, all in a bowl.
Calliope.
Calliope was your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Eleanor.
Oh, wow.
And then Oliver.
Oh, wow. We didn't even talk about Oliver. Oliver is Eleanor's twin brother who was shunned from the family because he's kind of like a baddie.
Yeah, he's a little rebellious, that's why.
Yeah, and he didn't...
And the family is very big on having a good image. Mm-hmm. So Oliver was screwing up their good image, like their perfect image. So they were like, you know what? We got to kick him out and never look back. And so that's pretty much what happened with him.
Yeah. And you liked him?
Yeah, I thought he was really interesting.
I didn't like his character.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was interesting. I was like, okay, well, now there's some spikes in this story.
Yeah, but it felt like his character was only there to stir the pot and nothing
but then
else.
At the end... I was like, okay, now I'm really interested to see where this is going.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I understand that. I didn't like Oliver, also because of the end.
That's so funny. okay, but who's your favorite?
Theo. All-time favorite. Theo.
Were you sad when he...
Kind of. I thought it was interesting because now they're being put in the situation where it's like, okay, well, is he a monster? which I wanted them to kind of deal with that a little longer.
It'll be in the next season.
I know, but I
If
wish he
there
would
is
have
one.
stayed. I wish he would have stayed home and then it's like, let's just like not tell Juliet's family. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you hate us, but do you have more of those blood pills, maybe?
I kind of need one.
Kind of need one
I
for
know you-
headaches.
and that's it.
That's it. Not a vampire. Gross. Can I say something that I've been like holding on?
Yeah.
Dude, the opening song is such a banger.
I didn't even hear it. Because the first time, the first time that it played, I couldn't find my remote. It was really bad. I couldn't find my remote, so the whole intro played. And then somehow I found my remote at the end of it, and then I like turned up the volume. And then it was over. So I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear
I
the
didn't
banger?
hear it, no.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
It doesn't
then I
really
would
make
skip
sense. I think it's funny because it's a series about vampires and humans, and the opening's about zombies.
I know.
Wait, how do you know? Just kidding.
Because it wasn't that the song that... Wait, because of the subtitles.
Yes.
Wasn't that... Oh my God, I can't remember the song anymore. But didn't they play it again in the show?
Yeah, they played it multiple times.
Right? Okay, so then yeah, I did hear it.
About just wanting your heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I fucking love that opening, dude.
Okay,
It was such a fucking banger.
I don't remember it for some reason right now. But I do remember they kept playing a song about zombies. Or something about eating your heart or something.
All of our friends, they try to kill us. Yeah. Only because they were jealous that our love's deeper than Edward and Bella's. Oh my God, dude.
Okay. She's a stan.
Dude, that song was a banger. Anytime it came on, I was like freaking reverse so I could get into this. Dude. So good.
Okay.
I just thought you should know how much I love that song.
Okay, I appreciate
I was texting my sister while I was watching this, and anytime it came on, I was like, hold on. Hold on.
And what was she holding on to?
She was like pumping the brakes for me because, I had to go off. But
Cute.
thank you. I thought the opening was amazing.
Okay. Why don't we talk about their actual relationship? Because we didn't talk about...
Oh my God, I forgot.
We didn't talk about Julia and Calliope's relationship together.
Well, can I just say then? Their relationship in the short story ended right after their first kiss.
Yeah.
Because in the short story, they kiss, and Juliet's like, oh my God, she likes me. And then Calliope stabs her with a stake.
Yeah.
But both of them don't finish the job.
Yeah.
And when that happens, they freak out because it's like...
Juliet does bite her.
Yeah, yes. So they both already know that you're a hunter, I'm a vampire. And they're like, they run out of the closet. And then there's a situation where they're both looking at each other and they smile. And Juliet's like, oh, hell yeah, let the hunt begin. And that's how it ends. And I love that.
Yeah.
That start to their relationship, like the type of relationship they're going to have, I thought was a really good start. So for the show, I don't even think legacy vampires were brought up in the short story.
They weren't. So that's why I was like, what?
What's a legacy vampire?
What does that mean?
Is she a super vampire, maybe?
She's
Strong bites.
A vampire on steroids.
Oh my gosh, that's what she was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she was on blood pills, but I mean, get it right.
Steroids.
But their relationship...
It was very off-putting how sexual their relationship was because they're 16 years old and there's a moment in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a moment in the show when one of the characters say, she's 16 years old, and it took me out. I was like, 16? And they're heavily making out like that?
And also, like, drinking,
and then I'm pretty sure, like, she was, like, groping.
Yeah.
Juliet was, like, touching her, I think.
Yep.
Or it seemed like she was going to.
Yep.
It just...
Calliope does when they go to the forest.
Yeah, and it just takes me out.
Oh my God. It's a lot. That's not what I thought First Kill was gonna be.
Yeah,
And,
neither.
I was so down for the relationship in episode 4 because episode 4, if you remember, is where the girl who had died the day of their party, she became a zombie. And she came back into the school. And I thought both of them were going to become monster hunters together. And that's what I wanted. I wanted them to, like, I see it in the perspective of the monster and I see it in the perspective of a human. So, like, knowing when a monster is too far gone and knowing when there's still hope. And that's what I wanted out of this.
That would have actually been really cute.
Yeah.
But then how would that have been integrated into the families?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
They can go out and be their own thing. Sometimes it did feel like neither of them thought about their families. It was just kind of like,
it was their own thing.
You and I falling in love, so let's go and do our own thing. That's what it kind of felt like.
Because it could have been just like their families always constantly trying to go to war. Meanwhile, they're like, yeah, I don't talk to Juliet anymore. Ew. But, you know,
Who is that?
at school a little better. Mm-hmm. So I wanted that. But then their relationship was very sexual. And it was healthy at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Because they did communicate what both of them wanted.
Yeah.
And how they felt. About, yeah. But then Juliet fucks it up.
Yeah, she hella fucks it up. But before we talk about that,
okay.
I do want to say that I did think that they were really cute in the beginning. And what I really liked about their relationship was that Juliet was the first one to commit her first kill. But she did it to save Calliope and Ben. But mostly Calliope. And then in turn, Calliope's first kill was also to save Juliet, and I really liked that.
I didn't even notice that.
That was really cute. That
is really cute.
I really liked them together for the most part, but then at the end, I felt like it pretty much died for me.
Yeah, because I can't see it getting better.
No, me neither.
Which is so weird because at the end, it's revealed that the one who brought Theo back to become a vampire was Juliet because he was begging for help, but all he said was help. He could have meant take me to the hospital. Yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, give me your wrist. And it's like, bitch, no, not the type of help I meant.
I don't even like vampires like that.
They're gross.
Exactly. And keep in mind that Theo's mother was killed by a vampire, so he obviously hates them.
Yeah.
That's not what he meant.
And he became exactly what he hated.
Yeah.
And she turned him into a vampire without telling Calliope. And was like, I thought that was chill.
Yeah, but not just that. Just the fact that she also played dumb. Like, she was like, I didn't know that he was going to turn into a vampire.
Yeah, I was just going to bite him.
My bad. How was I supposed to know?
Because she wanted to drain him in order for him to have a peaceful death.
Yeah. But then he turned into a vampire.
Oopsie.
My bad.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And I just hated the way that Juliet was just acting near the end. But, I mean, we can just talk about her actions at the end as a whole. So, Eleanor was kind of creating a little bit of a problem for Juliet because Eleanor was really annoyed by how obsessed she became with Calliope to the point where she really wasn't thinking about her family anymore. Mm-hmm. And so Eleanor kind of was just being a little annoying to Juliet. And at this point, Oliver, which is, remember, the twin to Eleanor, was already kind of getting in her head. He told her, you know what? Let's get rid of her. Let's get rid of her because he's salty that his image was tarnished mainly by Eleanor. And so he wants to get rid of her and he wants Juliet's help, which she does end up helping him. Yeah. So what she does is what was the turning point again? Why did she get mad at Eleanor?
Because Eleanor told her they had a conversation. It was when she gave her back the lipstick.
Oh, it was because of Theo.
Yeah.
I forgot about Theo. Okay, so
but she said something to her specifically when she handed back the lipstick. And she was saying basically like, oh, you're not going to do anything.
Because you're weak, probably.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's go a little bit back.
Okay.
Let's go a little bit back. So Eleanor was the one who kind of sort of killed Theo.
Kind of, sort of.
But in her defense, she was just chilling at the bar. And then Theo and Apollo show up and they just like, they start stirring shit up. And so she defended herself and she kind of like moved to the side. And she moved right at the same time that Apollo stabbed into Theo because she was the one that was in between the two. I
can't believe that killed him. I know it was sharp, but
it killed him. It took him out.
Yeah.
I know. So Juliet finds out because she left a lipstick behind.
Yes.
And she goes to Eleanor and confronts her. And she's like, how could you do that to me? You know how much Calliope means to me. And you go out there and kill her brother?
What am I going to say at the family dinner?
Like, I'm sorry, guys. It's not my fault. But Eleanor was kind of she really did not care. She doesn't have that compassion that Juliet had in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of just like, It happened, you know?
Yep.
And so because of that, Juliet ends up helping Oliver to ruin Eleanor's life.
And they basically snitch on Eleanor.
Yeah, because Eleanor would keep the driver's license of every person that she would kill. And she had a lot.
Yep. And they found him. The police found him. And that town already thinks there's monsters. So they're like, found him.
Found one of them, so let's go.
And she leaves thinking that the family is going to help her. But Oliver
The family being
up.
the parents.
Yeah, the parents. But Oliver, her twin brother, shows up and is like, they're not going to help you. They're going to leave you in here.
Because you know what? They don't want to tarnish their image.
Yep.
And you're tarnishing it. So now you're on here. You're in here on your own.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Then he just laughs in her face and leaves.
Yeah. So then Juliet goes to Calliope at this point, I believe. But at this point, Theo is in their house as a vampire or turning as a vampire.
And the dad's already like, he's not our son. Let's fucking kill him. Fucking kill him. Bye, son. I had a good run. Oh my God.
That was fun while it lasted. Time for you to go.
And, you know, he's going crazy. And it turns out because when Juliet shows up, Theo has made his way to the front yard and Apollo is fighting him. And they're like, why he acting like that? He really acting up. And Juliet's like, oh, it's because
he's scared.
He's scared because of the noise. It's too loud. But also in order to tame them, they have to drink blood from the person who turned them. And she's like, bite me. You know?
And he does.
And he does.
And Calliope's like, what the fuck? You turned my brother into a vampire? Knowing who my family is?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I did it
Can
for
you maybe forgive me?
I did it for us, babe.
You turn one brother into a vampire and all of a sudden you're the bad guy.
You have another brother.
Yeah, a whole other brother. God.
And it's arguably better.
Oh my gosh. But Theo, you know, kind of turns back to normal. In a way. He still has the thirst for blood, but you know, he turns back to normal and Juliet's just like, or not Juliet, Calliope's like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck this. I thought we had each other's back and you're over here doing this shit. I'm done.
Yeah, and then she calls her selfish. Like, you didn't do that for me.
Yep. And then Juliet says, you know, there's no way you can say that you didn't love me or that you don't love me because I love you. And they have like a conflicting moment and they both leave back to their own homes. But getting to the end, Talia, the mom, Calliope's mom, thinks it's a good idea, you know, because there's so many vampires in this freaking town. But the only trustworthy one she can think of is Oliver, which
I don't understand how that happened.
I don't either, because at the beginning of the show, when they first attacked, when the hunters first attacked the legacy vampires,
they took Oliver as hostage and they tortured him.
yeah,
or tried to
they
torture
did.
him.
But then she was like, you know what? I trust him, kind of. I don't know, kind of mid-torture. We kind of like have a
We
little
kind of
moment.
bonded a little bit.
Yeah.
And so she trusted him enough to take her son, which the dad, his dad, wait, whose dad? What's his name?
I don't remember his name.
T's husband didn't know. He thought, you know what, say goodbye to him because we're going to kill him. And so T is in there. She's supposedly having a moment with him, but she actually takes him to Oliver. So that's also a little...
It's a lot because, you know, Theo is like literally his clothes is dirty. He's in the clothes he died in, basically.
Yeah.
And then Oliver's like, you know what? You're going to fit right in here. And then they go into his backyard and it's just a party full of a bunch of different monsters.
And he's like, damn, see, in my past life, I would have killed every single one of these.
But now
we're friends. So
I think I love that man over there. It's like, that's a zombie. I know what I said.
I was really surprised that this was the ending.
Me too.
That this is how the story faded to black.
Can you tell me, when that hit, how did you feel?
I was very disappointed. I was like, wait, this is the last scene? This is supposed to be a sapphic high school romance, and this is the last scene that I'm going to get? I liked the ending because of what it can possibly happen, but I didn't like it based on like the story as a whole.
I am okay with Theo turning because I think Juliet made a mistake. I'm okay with that happening in the story. It can stay like that. The fact
What do you mean
that
Theo turning? He's
Theo
already
turning
turned.
into, I know, I'm okay with the fact that he turned into a vampire.
Oh, okay.
The fact that Oliver was the one you trusted,
I know.
you know, because I wish that after Calliope and Juliet essentially broke up.
Uh-huh.
I wish that the mom would have reached out to Juliet.
You know what's fun? That would have been cute.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I almost expected her to reach out to Juliet's mom.
Yeah, because they had a thing.
They actually had more of a relationship than her and Oliver.
Yep. And I thought that would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't. She reached out to Oliver, which, by the way, how did she not hear that bumpin' ass party? Because it was in the backyard, freaking werewolves, freaking chugging, I don't know, alcohol, whatever werewolves do. But
no judgment.
I was so angry. I hated that ending. I thought it was stupid. I didn't like Oliver. I didn't like his witch girlfriend.
Oh,
didn't care for him. She was in it for like 2 seconds, but
she was in it for fun.
They're just so malicious. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I think Theo's the most important character in this whole series.
Well, he's with Oliver, so.
Oh my God. I know. I hope that Theo's morals don't change. They might, though.
They probably will.
Yeah. Ugh.
But pretty much the love story ends in heartbreak.
Yeah.
Because they don't end up reconciling after that.
Mm-hmm.
They just go their separate ways. What do you think could happen that would make Calliope forgive Juliet for what she did?
I think she's going to have a Romeo and Juliet moment. And she's going to pretend to die.
Oh, really?
And it's going to be like, oh my God, I did love you. I'm going to die too. And it's like, wait, bitch.
I'm not dead. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get back together. I don't think they can keep themselves away from each other. Whatever happens in season 2, though, I hope it doesn't follow, you know, After by Anna Todd.
Yeah.
You know how in the second movie, immediately forgiven. It's like, okay, it's fine. We had a big breakup. It's good.
We said some things, but it's all right. I forgive you.
I hope that doesn't happen. Because I liked what their relationship was becoming at the beginning before Juliet fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But I know we kind of already brushed on it near the beginning of this episode, but how did you feel about Juliet's character? Like, at what point were you like,
Episode 4.
Well, specifically, what happened?
Episode 4, when I realized that this wasn't going to be a Monster Hunter show, because I was so down for that. You don't know how down I was. I hated every single episode. I could not stand Juliet. I know that she was going through a lot of emotions, but she was just like, never took charge in anything. Because even when she went out with Eleanor, and they partied and they accidentally killed a guy.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was like, how did you not know that was going to happen?
I know, it was like all of a sudden just Eleanor's fault.
And by the way, he apparently had taken crack. And Eleanor was like, oh my God, isn't that crazy? We can feel it in his system. Yeah. And it's like, she's 16.
Yeah.
Why are you being like this? I don't know. Like, everything she did.
It was ecstasy.
She kind of, ecstasy, thank you. Everything she did, everything Juliet did, kind of felt like she was kind of going with the flow. Mm-hmm. And I hated that because she didn't consider any consequence in anything she ever did. Meanwhile, Calliope did.
She didn't feel like her own character most of the time to me. It felt like she was very much driven by what other people wanted.
Yeah.
And not only that, but even when she betrayed Eleanor, I was so like mad because honestly, like, it wasn't Eleanor's fault. She was protecting herself. Mm-hmm. And Juliet never cared about her own family. So, of course, she's not going to take the time to actually investigate, like, oh, what happened? She's just going to see Eleanor as this heartless bitch, and she's going to destroy her.
Yep.
And it honestly really annoyed me. So I don't like her.
Wow. You know what? You're kind of switching me on Eleanor now. You're right. It really wasn't her fault. I think I was just mad because I really like Theo.
But all she did was move. It's not like she
could have moved the other way.
It would have still hit the same area.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, at least Eleanor liked her family.
Yeah, she did. I liked her relationship with the dad.
Yeah.
With
Sebastian.
Thought it was really cute. Yeah, that's his name. Thank you. But overall, how did you feel about this whole experience? I shouldn't even call it a story.
I feel really conflicted because I am happy that there is finally like a sapphic like romance. Mm-hmm. But should we be celebrating something that's not good?
Wow, wild thought. Very scandalous of you to say that.
But then again, I've heard people's arguments where it's like, well, I mean, Twilight was cringy and it's, and you know, like it doesn't matter.
Doesn't mean you should remake Twilight. Oh, sorry.
I mean, that's your own opinion.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then why? Why do you say that?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, maybe if we were in high school, this would be different, right?
Mm-hmm.
This would be a different experience for the both of us. But because we're older, I don't think this was made for us, even though it feels like both characters were very, like, I guess, sexual
Yeah.
in some moments. I just wish it was a little bit more concise and it made a little bit more sense.
Yeah. Because they were very in love with each other, and I wish we would have seen that more in their actions, because there were very cute moments.
Yeah.
Like them saving each other was
Yeah.
really cute.
Yeah, that was really cute. And I did like parts of their love
Yeah.
story. But because of Juliet's switch,
Mm-hmm.
it completely lost me, honestly. I did like the short story. I would recommend it. I wouldn't say... Oh, I feel bad because Schwab and I, we go way back.
Oh my god, stop, dude.
What if she watches this? Baby.
Victoria.
Vicky, please. I did not enjoy the show at all. I think if it wasn't for the podcast, I would have stopped watching it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say you were going to give it?
A 2, I think.
Okay, go ahead and give it a 1. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'd probably give it a 1. Honestly.
Dang.
It wasn't good. Like, people that are really praising it, like, what about it really stood out?
If I were a zombie. The opening.
Oh,
That's what stood out.
Okay,
Stephanie,
okay.
maybe?
Okay, and just so everyone knows, I did hear the full opening song, like, in between a break.
Yeah.
It's a really good song.
Thank you. Wow, a 1. Yeah. Wait. What would you rate the short story?
I mean, it was really short.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 3, just because there wasn't a lot to it.
The short story, I'd give a 4 out of 5.
Really?
I was so into that short story.
It was really good, but I just wish there were more details to it.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So what would you give the show?
I went in with an open mind and an open heart.
Oh,
Because, if I were a zombie, I wouldn't eat the brain, I'd eat the heart. As the song, as the song says. Yeah, the song says that.
Okay, okay.
Stephanie, maybe? Okay. Anyway, I liked the show going in a lot. The sexual parts kind of threw me off, but I really liked how in the first episode, it basically followed the short story. And in the second episode, it did follow the short story, but in the perspective of Calliope. I was down for that. I was there. Monster Hunter episode, fucking love that episode so much. Mm-hmm. I would have dropped the show after episode 4. I was not down for anything that was happening. Even though I was watching it, and even though I like Theo, I could have lived my whole life not caring about that boy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I hated the fucking ending so much. Mm-hmm. If season 2 comes out, do we have to talk about it?
I don't know.
We might have to.
It just depends.
I think because of the short story and because I would want to see how it ends, I think I'm going to give it like a 2.
Oh, a 2.
I would give it a 1, but I don't know. Something about Theo. I know that I don't give a fuck, but like, ugh.
Wait, what? I'm confused. A 2 or a 1?
A 2. A 1.5. Right in between. 1.5.
Oh, so I got it right.
Yeah. But the song, 5 out of 5. That song was a fucking banger, dude. I can't get over it.
It was pretty good.
I won't sing it. I'm sorry.
We're going to get copyrighted.
Yeah, people are going to think we're playing the actual audio.
I know, because you're so good at singing.
I know. I don't want to trigger. Yeah, when I sing, actually, and I get super into it, I can even do, like, the acoustics, like the acoustic guitar in the background.
Oh, my gosh. She's multi-talented.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
But
fucking hated it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
I wouldn't either.
I don't even think I'd recommend the short story. I liked it personally. I'm okay with just leaving it. Doesn't matter much to me.
I mean, it was really short, so
I still need to read the other V.E. Schwab book that you read.
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
I think I am going to read it. I just want to have my
I don't think you'd like it.
I don't think so either, but I still want to have it in my mind bank.
I really liked her writing in that book.
Really?
It was so good.
Was it similar to the writing in the short story?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Well, she had a lot more deep quotes, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe I should read it. We'll get back to you in another episode when I have read it.
Stay tuned.
But we've reached the end.
I'm
Finally.
so sad.
You know what, though? I was excited to talk about this one.
I was too, honestly, because it is pretty popular.
Yeah.
And I have seen a lot of people torn about this one because, you know, we are happy sapphic representation.
Yeah. Is that why people love it? Because of the sapphic representation?
You know what? I don't think people are being honest. I think they are loving it because of the sapphic representation.
It wasn't well represented.
But it wasn't a good story.
No.
So, what are we celebrating here? What are we celebrating?
Can I say, though, the actress that they picked for Calliope, I fucking love her.
Oh my God, I love her too.
She was really good. And even Juliet. I think that's a good Juliet.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, all of the characters I was fine with. It's just the plot.
The story.
And then
You're right.
The actual like romance, how it ended up going.
Yeah.
The journey of everything.
Because you know what? Even though it was a short story, I don't think the short story Calliope and Juliet would have ended up like that.
I don't think so either. It felt very different to me, at least.
It felt like they were just gonna like, I'm gonna fucking kill you first, but I fucking love you, bitch.
But I love you, bitch. It's okay. But
oh my God.
Yeah.
We're done with the episode.
We're done.
But we're also done with the story in general. Mm-hmm. Let's never talk about it again as soon as this camera's off, please.
Well, we have to in the tier list.
Oh my God, you're right. Okay, we can only talk about it twice.
The tier list?
During dinner, maybe?
During some spaghetti, maybe?
Oh my God, dude, we made so much spaghetti. Okay. Oh my God, you got me excited. Okay, thank you so much for watching our episode. If you are listening to us in audio form, anywhere you get podcasts like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, thank you so much. If you can leave a rating or a comment.
If you can leave us 5 stars, that would mean the world to us.
Yeah, it would be really nice. And if you can also tell your friends, your loved ones, your family, your enemies about us, because the best way to get exposure is through word of mouth. That would be really nice too. If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, let us know what you felt about this. Do you think that it was a good sapphic representation? Do you think that this was a good vampire story? Do you think their love was deeper than Edward and Bella? Thank you. Oh my gosh,
whoa, that no.
Let us know. And also, if you can hit that notification bell, that would really help us with analytics. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to roll a dice. If it lands on an odd number, we are going to read a negative comment off of Goodreads, if it's on Goodreads or Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not on Goodreads. I'm just looking at Google.
Okay, we'll read a negative comment written about first kill. If it lands on an even number, we're going to read a positive comment written about first kill. So your number you're working with is 2.
Okay, I just want to say that on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 58%, but the audience gave it a 90%. Whoa, that's a big difference.
I guess their love was deeper than Edward and Bella. If I were a zombie, I'd never eat a brain.
Would you?
No, I just want the heart. Yeah, I want the heart. Yeah. Oh.
Stop it. Stop it. All right, so this review comes from Helen. It's on Rotten Tomatoes, and they gave it a 5 out of 5. Yes. And it says, critics' reviews are so off. First kill was amazing. It pulled me in right away, and I found myself many hours later having finished the entire season. This show reminds me of Vampire Diaries, but in a lesbian kind of way.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. So hot. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. It's like 105 degrees outside.
Should we get into the pool? And by pool, I mean your bathtub.
My bathtub? I think if we both sit right next to each other, I don't want our sweaty bodies touching each other.
Why not?
Wait, let me see your hands. I can't.